Okay, so we've got the Civil Service Commission this day for the city of Tumwater, Thursday, November 9th, 2023, and it is 5:30 p.m.
Well, thank you, Chief Examiner Michelle Sutherland. I would like to call the meeting to order, and let's start with roll call. I'm Simon T, Chair for the Commission. And how about let's go with Commissioner Chard, John.
Yeah, I'm Commissioner Chard, just member of the commission.
Chief Hurley, Fire Chief. Good.
Yeah. John Crewman's Assistant Fire Chief.
Michelle Sutherland, Administrative Services Director.
And I'm Lisa Parks, City Administrator for Tumwater.
Well, thank you, everyone. So, as far as the agenda, are we good with the proposed agenda, or are there any changes anyone would like to suggest?
I have none.
Question I have, Michelle, is I think last month during our meeting, I think Commissioner Chart mentions something about the code, the city's code regarding the appointment of city administrator, whether or not that need to be brought before the commission for approval or something like that. I think we were supposed to add that to the agenda for discussion this at this meeting. Is that one of the items on the agenda related to that?
It is. Yes, it's number 11, the request to amend the civil service rules.
Got it. Thank you for doing that. And good. Then if that's the case, so I think we're good to go. So the next item is for the approval of minutes. I read the minutes. I didn't have any comments. How about you, Commissioner Chart?
No, I don't.
All right.
I'll move that we approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion, and those who support the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the minute has been adopted. The October 12th minutes been adopted. And the next item is City Administrator Lisa Park.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes on your agenda. I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself to you and give you a chance to ask me any questions if you have them. I've been on the job for about 4.5 months or so at this point, I think. It has flown by. There's been a lot of work. I've met a lot of new people, and but this month I'm trying to get out and meet with all of the different boards and commissions that support the work of the city of Tumwater. So again, my name's Lisa Parks. I've been here since June 16th. My background in education is mostly in land use and environmental planning. So I know a lot about what the community development department does. I come to the city of Tumwater most recently from the Port of Olympia. I was their environmental and planning program manager, as well as working on a lot of their capital investment planning and financing work. I've also been an executive director of a port district in North Central Washington. But then the most of my time has been spent working for cities and counties, as well as port districts and public utility districts, doing all manner of local government planning and financing and all sorts of work. So I was really pleased to have the opportunity to work for the city of Tumwater. We have a great crew here. I'm really pleased with the opportunity to be a part of the team, and I'm hope to be here for a while. So I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them of me, and yeah.
Thank you. thank you, Lisa, for introducing yourself and for attending this meeting. I don't have any questions, and I'm pleased that you're, part of city staffing now, and welcome aboard. So,
All right, thank you so much. And
Commissioner Sharp, you have any question or any comment?
Commissioner Chard, you're muted.
Most people like that. I just want to welcome you and appreciate you attending the meeting tonight.
Well, thank you. I may take my leave fairly quickly. It's been a little bit of a long week, and looking forward to the weekend. We have a day off tomorrow, but thank you for your time. And anytime you have a question of me, or you'd like to talk or have some coffee, please feel free to reach out. Michelle can get you my contact information really easily, as can either Chief Hurley or Assistant Chief Crimmins. And I'd love to have an opportunity to chat with you if you would so choose. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. Let's move to the next, move on to the next item on the agenda is the status of November eligibility list update. Michelle?
Yes, we've got updates on the eligibility list that were completed. Most recently, the firefighter entry level. There will be a new recruitment process for that. We have other lists. The expiration dates are into 2024. And our police services specialist 1, that's been updated through 2024. And that looks like the extent of the changes on the eligibility list this month.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Commissioner Chart, any question, comment?
I don't have any questions on this.
All right. So let's move to item number 7, approval of entry-level police eligibility list.
Yes, in Chief's place, it looks like we have 12 candidates on the police officer entry level list at this time. I do know that they will be moving forward with one of these candidates, putting them into backgrounds fairly immediately. And they've done interviews with several of those on the list currently as well. Just asking for approval to extend the expiration date on this list continuously from November of 2023 forward. Noting the expiration dates of the entry-level officers in the right column as far as their expiration dates.
Thank you, Michelle. Any question, Commissioner Chart?
No questions.
All right, if no question, I move that the police officer entry level eligible list be approved. Commissioner Chart, would you second the motion?
I'll
Or-
second. I'll second the motion.
And those who in support of the motion, say aye.
All right.
Aye, so motions approved and the entry level for police officer eligible list is adopted. Thank you. Let's go to item number 8, I believe. Let's scroll back up to the approval of Battalion Chief Medical Services Officer class specification. Michelle?
We have Assistant Chief Crimmins has reviewed the class specification for this position, every category, and they are requesting your review of this, so they will be able to post and fill the position moving forward into 2024. Sean, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I can add some. So this is, if, as Simon might remember, last year, we actually reclassed our fire captains to battalion chiefs. And what this is we're asking basically the same thing for our medical services officer to become a battalion chief position. So it's just that one slipped through the cracks a little bit and we didn't have a position to fill. So we're just asking with item 8 to change it from medical services officer captain to MSO battalion chief.
So everything that's listed is as it was. You're just adding battalion chief instead of captain.
Yes, that's pretty much correct. It's exactly like it was. The duties are still the same, the job's still the same. It's just a reclassification from captain to battalion chief because we are actually removing the fire or the captain rank from the fire department.
Any other question, commissioner comment?
No, I don't.
So, any motion?
I'll move we approve the documents as presented.
And I second the motion, and those who approve of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This motion is approved and a battalion chief eligibility, let me see. Battalion Chief Medical Services Officer Exam Plan is, I'm sorry, Battalion Chief Medical Services Officer class specification is adopted. Thank you. Let's go to item number 9, Battalion Chief Medical Services Officer Exam Plan.
Yes, this is a 4-step process that we'll be doing for the hire of the Battalion Chief Medical Services Officer. The first step is the written exam, which is weighted at 20%, followed by an assessment center rated at 30% with various different dimensions. The third step is the oral board, which is rated at 50%. So as a whole, 70% is a minimum passing score of all of these components. So we are asking for approval of this exam plan.
Any question, comments, Commissioner Chart?
I don't. I'll move that we approve the battalion chief medical service officer testing plan.
I second the motion, and those who approve of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the Battalion Chief Medical Services Officers exam plan is now approved. This is 2024. So just so I understand, if I recall correctly, in the previous meeting we mentioned that this exam plan need to be reaffirmed every year, right? Am I correct, Michelle, or am I?
You are correct, yes.
Thank you. All right, let's go to next item on the agenda, which is number 10, I believe.
Yes, it is, and this is the battalion chief exam plan for 2024. Again, a very similar process. I should say the same process as the battalion chief MSO. The candidate screening being the first step, the written exam, and then the assessment center. All with different weights. Again, 70% as a whole is the minimum passing score.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Michelle.
Yep, the top 7 candidates are eligible for the chief's interview, and any of those may be selected.
All right, any question, comments, Commissioner?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling back and forth from the previous plan. I see that this one has no oral board. Is that why the difference in the assessment center took all of those 30% from the oral board?
You want me to
Chief,
answer that? Michelle?
Assistant Chief?
Yes.
Yes, so as part of this process, the assessment center is for both the fire battalion chief and the medical services officer. The only difference is that MSO exam plan that you just approved prior to this one has an extra part where it's an oral board. So that's why the scores are different a little bit, with the MSO happen 50% of it being the oral board, the last portion. Yeah, and then the battalion chief, it's just the assessment center and the written for that process.
Because I look,
Two different positions.
yeah, I understand that. I just was looking at how the percentages got split. What caught my eye was the assessment center went from, I believe, 30 to 60, but you also increased the written exam portion too, which makes sense to me. So appreciate your clarification for me.
You betcha.
I would move we approve the battalion chief exam plan for 2024.
Before you make the motion, I like to ask a question, actually. Thank you for raising those questions, Commissioner Chart. So what is the justification or the reason for not including oral in this exam plan for battalion chief as versus the one for the battalion chief medical officer? Could you kind of help me understand a little?
Yeah, you want me to answer that, Chief, early, or?
Yeah, why is the oral interview or oral exam not included in the battalion chief exam plan?
Sure. Well, they both obviously have the assessment center for the the different items there, the tactical and those things, but so they're both battalion chiefs, but the medical services officer has kind of some very specialized duties related to supervising our emergency medical services program, working with Thurston County Medic 1, overseeing, the training and education of our paramedics and EMTs. So there's a skill set there that we wanted to be able to evaluate through an oral board, just to assess their capabilities in dealing with the medical side of the position.
You don't see such a need as for the battalion chief
Sure.
for the oral board?
Really, through the assessment center, they do they answer a lot of questions. They do writing, they do presentation, they do a tactical scenario where they have to react to things that are presented to them. So really, there is a series of questions and things they have to answer in the regular assessment center as well. It's just we needed a way to evaluate the medical side of things for the MSO position, and that's why the oral board was added there.
Are you saying that there's no such oral component, in an assessment center for the medical, like chief medical battalion, medical service officer, battalion chief? There isn't such a oral component of it in the assessment center?
The battalion chief medical services officer has the oral board. The regular fire battalion chief doesn't have a separate oral board, but again, there are components in the assessment center where they have to answer, questions in different kinds of scenarios. Sean, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I think one big, the difference between the two positions and why there's two different exam plans is really the battalion chief MSO position is more of an administrative position, and it's a day shift position, so it is here Monday through Friday or 4/10s, so potentially 4 days a week. whereas the fire battalion is strictly on shift. And so we needed that little bit of separation where, so everybody does the same test. It's just the MSO has one extra portion because there is a lot of administrative duties of attending meetings, being, as Chief Hurley pointed out, really being the face of the department for emergency medical services. So that's why we had that, have that extra little oral board portion.
Thank you. All right, no other questions, so I take motion,
I did get another question with that conversation. Who sits on the oral board, not by name, but by background?
Typically, we have representatives from Thurston County Medic One, and then our other partners within the profession. Typically, it's somebody from Olympia Fire Department and Lacey Fire Department that are in like positions because they have medical services officers in those agencies as well. So it's typically those people along with a community member.
Okay, thank you. With that, I will make a motion that we approve the
chief exam plan, okay.
exam
Yeah,
plan
second
for
motion. Yeah. A second
Deputy chief.
motion for the approval of the battalion chief exam plan, and those of us approve of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the battalion chief exam plan is now adopted, approved. Thank you all for patience for answering questions. So next item is request to amend civil service rules. Michelle?
Okay, at the first meeting that I attended, it was noted that our civil service rules conflict with our municipal code. The civil service rules currently state that the secretary examiner is appointed by competitive process, and it could be anyone, any resident of the city of Tumwater. However, in speaking to our city attorney and looking at municipal code, our municipal code states that the secretary chief examiner authorized by RCW 41.08.040 and 41.12040 shall be appointed by the commission from among qualified city employees selected and recommended by the mayor. So municipal code supersedes civil service commission rules. So we would like to adopt this statement in municipal code and update the civil service rules to reflect that.
Does municipal code supersede, is that a statement by the city attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
So-
Michelle. Commissioner Chart, any questions?
Nope.
Thank you for getting that clarified with the city attorney, Michelle, appreciate it. That really helps with this issue clarified. All right. So next item is the update.
Don't we have to approve this?
Oh yeah, that's right. Let me comment. Sorry, I noticed that there's a item number 12 missing. I guess it's just a typo. So let's go to, if there's indeed no item number 12, we'll just go to item number 13, which is an update. Am I correct, Michelle? That's basically just a typo without item number 12.
Yes, it looks like it is just a typo.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get that corrected.
Sorry.
Do we need to vote on the request to amend the civil service rules?
Well, we need to, I guess, would it need to be documented, need to be presented in the next meeting for amendment of the civil service rules? So that is compatible or not in conflict with the, what do you call that, the municipal code? I think that's a
I
question.
think we're ready for a motion.
Yes, I believe you could be ready for a motion, and then at the next meeting, it says that from city employees selected and recommended by the mayor. So at the next meeting, that would be the presentation of who the mayor would recommend.
So, great. So I take a motion, Commissioner Chart.
I move that we accept the recommendation as reflected in the document for staff to update the language in the civil service rules and that they be adopted.
I second the motion, and those who approve of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motions approved, and thank you, Commissioner Chart and Michelle. Thank you for working on that and presenting it in the next meeting. So we'll go to item number 13, and with the notation that, item 12 is omitted, that so item 13 is for updates. Should we start with Chief Weeks?
Thank you, Commissioner T. First of all, I just want to apologize to everybody on the call. I apparently tried to start my weekend a little early and got almost home and realized, oh no. And I was closer to home, and then my Zoom needed to update, and then it let me in as an attendee, but not a participant, and took me a while to get logged in. So
No worries. Yeah.
a cascade of errors, but my fault.
It was
So.
just firework stuff. You won't understand.
With that being said, we have 2 people that are set to graduate from the Basic Law Enforcement Academy Tuesday, and they'll be coming back. They'll have a couple days off, and then we'll get them into their pre-field training program. And hopefully in the next 4 months, we'll have them on the road working as solo patrol officers. We had another one start the academy on the 1st, and he's doing well. And so right now we have 3 current openings. We have 2 backgrounds underway, and we are just continuing to process through and looking for good candidates.
Wow.
Oh, and we finished the background on our open front office position today. And so that person will be starting with our department on next Thursday, the 16th. So with that, I'll pass it on to Chief Hurley.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. We also have a new employee starting November 16th in our department assistant position, the list that was previously approved. So we're very excited to have her coming on board. We also have a conditional offer out to the lone candidate on our lateral firefighter paramedic list. And so he's working his way through that process, and we're hopeful he'll successfully complete all of those requirements soon. And I think I've mentioned before, it's paramedic candidates are few and far between these days. Medic 1, they do kind of the front end of the test and did an entry level test and didn't have anyone pass that process. So we continue to look to other ways to fill those positions. And I think we previously mentioned we do have one of our firefighters going to paramedic school right now. We get support from Medic 1 to send those firefighters to school, and he's doing very well. So we're excited to have him back sometime mid-year next year. And then finally, we are using our existing entry-level firefighter list to interview 7 candidates to hopefully fill a position that would start in January with our academy here in Thurston County, including an EMT class and a fire academy. So that person really wouldn't be ready to go until sometime June timeframe as well. So we're trying to plan ahead a little bit. We know we're going to have a couple of retirements next year too, that we're going to start working on the process to fill those positions as well. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Chief?
I do have one update. We do have the Civil Service Commissioner, the vacant position posted on governmentjobs.com. So if anyone knows of any city residents interested in becoming the next commissioner, please refer them to the website or give them my contact information.
Great. That's good to know. Thank you, Michelle. Hopefully we'll get some interest, from that would be great.
I'd
Alright.
like to announce something. I'm currently on the board of the Family Support Center, located on the west side of Olympia now. And they, if you've been over that way, you might have noticed that we're having a new apartment complex built for homeless families. And we're going to have an open house on November 29th. And so I encourage you to come. It starts at 2:00 with the ribbon cutting at 2:30. Hopefully you'll get an invitation. If not, take this as an invitation and come and view that. It's a great program.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, any other business or issue to discuss for the order before we adjourn? Our next meeting date is scheduled for December the 14th, 2023. Is that going to work for everyone? I mean, especially Commissioner Chart, is that going to work for you?
Yes.
Yeah, that should be good for me too, so. Any other issues or business for discussion before we adjourn? Well, going once, twice, and in that case, I'd like to take a motion for adjournment of the meeting.
I move we adjourn.
I second the motion, and those who say, approve of the adjournment, say aye.
All right.
Aye, well, meeting adjourned, and thank you everybody for taking the time to attend the meeting, and have a wonderful evening. Have a great Veterans Day weekend. And for those of you who serve, thank you for your service.
Thank you. We'll see you next month, commissioners.
See you.